Hey, it is Tennille Jones with another Tuesday Tea, hashtag Holy Bible Receipt. In this Tuesday Tea, I will tell you how you can be blessed financially. Now, growing up, I have always heard folks quote the scripture and say, God will open up the window of heaven, and pour you out a blessing where you will not have room enough to receive. And that is true. However, what has always been left out is the beginning of that scripture. And so in the beginning of the scripture, it says, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. Improve me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. So the context of that entire scripture is basically saying that when you bring your tithe, your full tithe, your whole tithe into the storehouse, when you give unto the Lord, then he will pour you out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive it. Giving is not something the pastors made up. It's a God thing. And it's also an act of obedience when you give. So God will reward your obedience and he will bless you abundantly. Now, I don't receive any tithes. I don't have my own church. I don't collect anybody's tithes. But I do give tithes. I've been tithing since a teenage girl. From that very summer youth job I was able to get, I've been tithing since then, and God has truly blessed me. And I know sometimes it gets tight and you try to cut corners here or there. Like, I don't know if I can pay the tithes this week, and you might skip. But I'm telling you, don't skip. Stay faithful to God, because he is Jehovah Jireh. He will provide for you. There was a time where I felt like, maybe I could cut here or there. And I saw, I asked God, I said, God, I need this type of blessing. I need my finances to be increased. I need it. And I heard God clear, and he said, pay your tithes the right way, because I was not paying the right way. I was cutting. And then when I heard God say that, I took my tithes and I started to tithe off of my gross income. And when I tell you it was tight, it was tight. But I heard God clear, and I know that he gave me this instruction. I'm going to do what he said, because I'm going to trust him. And I know if I do it and I trust him, that he will truly open up that window of heaven and pour me out a blessing. And I could tell you, seriously, God allowed me to get into a higher position with a higher salary and everything else. And it was something that I didn't even expect. It just happened suddenly. It happened overnight. It happened during a pandemic. God allowed it to work. And that is because I was obedient to what he said. I was obedient to paying all the tithes. I brought all the tithes into the storehouse, and he truly kept his word. Story in the Bible in Luke where Jesus was in the temple, and when he looks up, he see, the people, rich people, they giving into the temple, they giving their money, and then he sees a widow, and she came, and all she had was 2 coins, and she put it in there, and he tells them she gave more than the other folks. It's not about the amount that she gave. It's the point that she sacrificed everything that she had to give to upkeep the temple. And that is the point. It's not about just, I don't want to give because this person is going to do this with the money, or they're going to be, put the money in their pocket. It's not about that. It's about your covenant with God. It's about your obedience to what God is asking you to do. And out of that obedience, he will bless you abundantly. And I'm telling you, he will do it. I have my own experience with God and with tithes, and I already know that God can open up that window of heaven. And there's more to come. So keep giving, keep sowing. God is going to do it. I'm telling you. And you know how they say more money, more problems. You don't have to worry about that when you give unto God, because the scripture tells us that the blessings of the Lord make it rich, and it addeth no sorrow. You don't have to worry about any sorrow coming along with that blessing, because the blessing of the Lord make it rich, and it addeth no sorrow. And that is your Tuesday Tea with Tennille Jones, hashtag Holy Bible Receipts.